right because everything they saw was wrong.
Help you to death.
Absolutely.
Help you to death.
Literally.
Yeah.
They was just trying to help. Even slavery, they just wanted to help us. They'll tell you, we civilized you guys. Hadn't it been for us, you'd have no rap music. Literally, you guys wouldn't be drinking 40s and smoking weed if it hadn't been for us. We helped you. So everything they do, they believe they're helping because their ego of helping. But to get out the way, that's humble. Mind your damn business. That's humble. Maybe I don't have all the answers and I'm incapable of achieving them. That's a real humble position. He doesn't have the answers and he's incapable of achieving the answer. Every answer he's come with has not fixed the equation. It has only prolongated the problem. So we ask Europeans, if they want to be helpful, get out of our shit. Get out of our black organizations. Get out of our black movements and quit pretending to be humanitarian.
And rally against the white organizations that continue
there you go.
to interfere.
There you go.
Solve the problem on your side of the line and create the mathematical, vibrational, neutral state that brings all intelligence back up to par.
You teach
brings all positive emotion back up to par. So yeah, you gotta they gotta do the rally on their side to prevent the same interferences that happened at the transatlantic slave trade from happening again and again in 2009, 2010. And by leaving us to take care of our own shit, right?
That's real. Yeah. So that's the solution for them. Because by doing that, they're acknowledging black supremacy in the sense that they acknowledge that we have the capability, due to our relationship to nature or the Neteru, that we do have the ability to solve our problems. Because that now you have to assume that we're in tune with a divine intelligence, a natural phenomenon, and through our true relationship to that, uncorrupted, uninterrupted, and intervened by lesser beings, that we can create and solve our own problems. Any other act is saying that you guys can't do it. I'm sorry for slavery, but you guys can't do it. So they're acting out in an inferior energy. They're projecting inferiority on us out of their attempt to help us. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if we go to them and tell them, this is how you help, that's different. But they come at us with their own ideas. And when we talk to them, I'm going to tell you about this European. He don't even listen to us. He's listening at us. Oh, this poor Negro. Oh, I'm sorry for what I did. They're not hearing nothing you're saying. I'm serious. Talk to a European about the condition of black people. And he ain't even listening to, he's like, oh, I know, I'm sorry, what can I do? It's like he's not even honoring our position. He's overlooking us. He's overlooking our own intelligence. But if he stopped for a minute and said, well, how can I help you guys? And listened and acted out of that, that would be different. But they don't do that. That's why they take over our organizations. Because they themselves could not be under black leadership. You look at the socialist movement today with Europeans, with Bob Avakian. He's saying it's going to be a socialist world order and we're going to take it over. I said, we'll never be under European. When they get in our organizations, they end up taking them over. Taking every single one of them. They be the ones in key positions. Key positions. Not because they're greater or more organized than us, but because of the projection of how they see others as inferior. They will step in front of you to try to show that they're better than you. That's how they operate. They have this attitude that I gotta get in front of you and do this because really you're inferior to me. So that's how I take over your organization. That's deep. Even where there's supremacy in nature, they see inferiority because they're not in there. It's a reality. In back in ancient Africa, before slavery, we had superior healing systems. Superior communication centers, systems. Literally. But he went over there and saw inferiority. He couldn't see none of the supreme aspects of what we had in our societies. It all to him looked like beneath him. He still sees that. It's his nature to perceive reality that way. That's not hatred against the white man. That's understanding the nature of him through scientific observation of how he has consistently behaved through time. That's the same methodology they used with us. They don't say it's racism. They say this is our scientific way of perceiving reality. So we see how these Europeans have acted and behaved throughout time. They take over stuff. They see themselves as being better. Because really, if you that damn light, really, I'm be honest with you, all you can see is your own skin. Because nothing in nature is that damn light. Black people blend in. They sit in the dirt, they look like they glowing. Wherever they go, they can't help but to see their damn self. Even at night, they ass is glowing off the moonlight. So you can't help but to be narcissistic when you stand out in nature. That would produce a certain type of narcissism. Give you an example. If your hands were 7 feet long, you can't help but thinking about your damn hands all day. Because you can't help but to see them. It's a fact. So they're distracted by their own obscure state in nature. That's what makes them narcissists. Us. Because they can't really see anything else. It's a fact. But my whole thing, and I don't want to get too far off my point, is that world peace comes from the European acknowledging us for who he is in his own time. Because if we acknowledge ourselves for who we are and move into the divine position, he can't help but to. He know when he's looking at his God and his Father. He know that. When we manifest the energies, not the historical information, but the energy of the divine self. He recognizes that as much as he recognizes the energy of an animal or lion that's about to eat his head off. When he come against the free, liberating energy of black gods and goddesses, he know what time it is. He know that he is somewhere else. And he has to respect that as much as when they measure a tornado on a Richter scale, when they measure earthquake, just as much as they can do that and run, they understand the powerful energy of the black man and the black woman in a divine state. So when we move into that state, it's only one way for them to respond to that. Many of us have not got there. We have begged, asked, and prayed for the European to do much. We have wanted much from him. We wanted reparations, wanted him to beg, wanted to forgive him. We wanted him to see something. But where we're at now, we don't want anything from him but to get the hell out the way. And as we move into the divine state of who we are, he himself will have to bear witness to the limitation that he has, not just against black people, but against nature, but against natural phenomenon. He has to bear witness to that. You had that video that I saw on the internet with the European getting ate by a lion, which I thought was a very interesting video clip. That moment they learned, we got to be careful with these goddamn lions. That was a great point for him to realize. So when the energy of the black god and goddesses, he come into that energy, he'll realize that too. We got to be careful when we're dealing with these black gods and goddesses. Nature taught him that. That lion didn't open a history book, didn't give him no DVD, didn't have no conference meetings, but I bet you they learned there. It's not too many more videos of they ass getting ate by lions, is it? It's only one. Because they ass learned right. So they can learn from the experience of us existing in our divine state, not through intellectual, discourse with them, but through actually the physical experience of the reality of us in our state of divinity. They can learn from that. That is a great teacher. That is something that is actually real. That's real. The idealists, the historians, point to it. But only the embodiment of it is our weapon against him. The history quotes will not do it. The recognition of our ancestors and of the dead people before us will not do it. Only the embodiment of our divinity is powerful enough to transform his energy. That's it. So the whole purpose of enlightenment is beginning to embody the real energy of who we are on a physical level, on an aura level, on a magnetic level. That's the purpose of enlightenment. So when we embody that in how we relate among one another, the reality of our experience of one another, then he comes against that energy what can he do? He have come against black hate. He have come into environments where we hate each other. If he came into an environment where we really loved each other, what would he be allowed to do? He came into environments where we have had jealousy and envy towards one another. And that is his playing ground. He have not come into environments where we had overwhelming love for the divinity of who we are. He has come into environments where we love Jesus Christ. He has come into environments where we love Yeshua. He has come in environments where we love the Prophet Muhammad or the Buddha. He have never come in an environment where we love our damn self completely. And if he comes into that environment, there's certain shit you won't be allowed to do because of the laws and rules of that environment. That's like a law of gravity.
The law of attraction.
Come on.
Is a real
100%.
Magnetic phenomenon.
So when we embody that real, actual love for one another, that's our weapon. That's our gun. Because a person with a gun, I always say this, is limited in his thinking. He got so many good shots, so many bullets, and he's aimed only at one thing. But a person who uses love as a weapon, sincerity as a weapon, everything becomes a weapon. Everything. And there's no failure for a person with that type of energy. They cannot lose. After you shoot them 10 shots and miss, you've lost. But the energy of love and compassion of reality is unexhaustible. You hear what I'm saying? You can never lose that. You can only get a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth wind. You hear what I'm saying? And every loss is completely turned around into an immediate victory in that moment. Literally. You run out of bullets, you throw the damn gun. Pick up a lamp. You hear what I'm saying? You come up with ideas that you ain't never come up with before. But it's the energy of it. Some people believe in a gun. They believe in this or that martial art form. How many of them believe in themselves? Because when all else fails, that's all you have. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that and you're in the reality of that, then you have the most permanent and consistent available weapon. I'm not talking about physical.
Right.
I'm talking about the mind. You can break a hand or break a leg. Am I correct? But with a mind, you can a broken arm, broken leg means nothing. Literally, it's people who broke all their bones and got away to safety. What was it there? It was their mind. Their consciousness was so powerful, I'm not going down. Literally. So they still found a way where there appeared to be no way, because they became the way, because who they are is the only way. That's deep. That takes me into another part of my lecture. None of this is nothing. The way is us. We interpret history, we interpret situations, phenomena, circumstances, but we are the way. The way is in our minds and in our consciousness. And it's the path that we are moving towards. That is created. None of it, nothing. If we get focused on the way, we won't be distracted by the nothingness. What is nothingness? Something that appears to be something. But in due time, you'll find out it was nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And if we don't be distracted by that, we will realistically move into our power of who we are. But none of this is nothing but energy. And I'll go further to say that even with the debates that we had of people, and this is going to be an enlightenment. This is going to be an enlightenment here. We debate as though there is some type of truth out there that I have, or you have, or whoever we're debating have. There's no truth in that sense. Those are facts, bits and pieces of information. But what determines what's right or what's wrong is the amount of energy directed towards something. I'm not talking about might is right. I'm not talking about that, because might deals with physical energy in a sense of aggression or in a sense of physical mass. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking about might in that sense, but I'm talking about energy.